mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you. And
stuck in the middle of there and nowhere. If you can hear me, Lord, I need you here. Don't mean to phone you on collected tears, but every now and then they do fall. But I'm ready for whenever you call. I'll be all ears. Whenever you call, it gives me chills. Whenever you call, I can't stay still, but I can't recall the last time you called. I know these things are not to stay up here, cause all I had, I watched it disappear. I know these wounds only have yet to heal, but I still gotta stay strong, getting ready for whenever you call. I'll be all ears. Whenever you call, it gives me chills. Whenever you call, I can't stay still, but I can't recall the last time you called.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 and love to all life seekers. Peace and love to all life seekers. Shout out to the BBT's own Noble Brian Hicks Bay. Those tunes we just started the show off with was straight from the Transportation of Raw Materials album from Brian Hicks Bay called Recall. Definitely go check that out where you buy music. We do a little bit of everything here at the BBT. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Friday night BBT Book Club reading with me, your host for tonight's reading, Noble Dante Smith-L. Excited, happy to be here tonight, tapping in for one of our book club readings. We do book club readings each and every Friday night. Shout out to all of our nobles who hold it down. Book club reading each and every Friday. Shout outs to everybody, here at the BBT. Starting off with the mapping guide of the BBT, founder of the BBT, Sheik Kari Goodman. Sheik Kari Goodman Bay. Shout out to you, Sheik. So once again, I'm Noble Dante Smith-L. I'll be covering our reading tonight. student minister of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. A synchronized path of learning. Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. A more science temple, or a more science temple with a map and a guide. Spirit, mind, body, divine creed, and nationality. Our commitment to health and well-being focuses on the whole you and extends to exclusive benefits and perks from our business partners, making our association not just a transaction, but a relationship of growth. With us, you're not just a donor, you're part of a community that believes in enhancing lives and making each day exceptional by applied mathematics. Your generous $40 contribution to this cause will help to build a brighter, more enlightened community, one step closer to a world of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You see it here. This is our website for the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, BBT ScienceTemple.com. If you haven't visited the website, what you waiting for? With a $40 donation, you can help a great cause. We're inviting all family, friends, and true light seekers to invest in love. $40 donation. Check out our website, bbtsciencetemple.com. Learn how to donate consistently on a monthly basis. Support something that's real. Check out our website where you can find our mission statement. It's a sheep, Kari there and his father, elders of the temple. Check out our website, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, bbtsciencetemple.com. If you're interested in learning more of yourself, selfology, as Noble Alonzo may put it, check out what the BBT has to offer. But again, tonight, this is our BBT book club reading. And just like always, we're going to present another book to you tonight. What we're going to be doing now moving forward, tonight's reading is going to jumpstart a new series that we're going to do for the entire month of May. So if you're someone, you've been having thoughts of self, about yourself, and just wanting to go deeper of who you are, you don't want to miss the BBT book club reading for the month of May that we'll bring it to the people. The month of May, we're going to jumpstart it tonight with a book. We're going to be covering the subconscious and conscious mind. So we'll bring to you tons of different books. Each week we'll offer, different book bundles on other books on this subject matter that you can get from us for a donation. Books that we will either cover on our book club reading or just other books on this subject that you can get, for your libraries. And that's what we do here at the BBT. We build libraries, all of our nobles, muftis of the BBT, we have thousands of books here. We have access to so many books, Sheikh Kari Goodman Bey, he's done the work, and he's a proper mapping guide, and he's leading this charge the right way. So if you're curious about self-knowledge on yourself, and you need a group, you need a school, to study with, the BBT, we're here. We do things on this internet, almost every day, you'll get something from the BBT. Friday nights, we have the BBT book club reading. On Saturdays, we do a DAP class. On Sundays, we do Sunday school. We also work out. As you heard, we got music with the BBT. We got graphics, being skilled in the AI designs with Noble Alonzo. We offer teas here. Shout out to Noble Mufti Moso, who holds down the book club readings often. So y'all are pretty familiar with Mufti Moso. My son teas. We got the teas for you. One-stop shop here at the Burning Bush Tabernacle. Be sure to visit morrishaberdasher.com, mypdfbooks.com, bonnetbooks.com. Plethora of different sites that you may see at the bottom of the screen here. Get involved, get involved, get involved. But without further ado, I do want to get into the book that I have for tonight. I think it'll be great insight and information to those who, are interested in, learning about self and what we're made of. You may have heard, the saying, you are what you think, or you become what you think about. You probably heard that so many times in your life. But when you actually apply that idea, when we apply it to our lives, there's so many possibilities. And as we learn about the subconscious mind and conscious mind this month in our BBT book club Friday night reading, you're going to be able to open yourself up to who you really are. And the idea is, once we have the knowledge of who we are, what are we doing next? What are we doing with the knowledge? That turns to wisdom. What are we doing with that wisdom? As far as applying and making it applicable to our lives, because that's what more science is about. We take the knowledge and we utilize the knowledge to the best of our abilities, and we make righteous decisions. And it's easier said than done, but it can be done. And that's the point. That's what we're preaching. That's what we're teaching. That's what we get taught and we get fed on a weekly basis here at the BBT. Where we study more science, we study selfology, we study ourselves. But to understand ourselves, we need to understand certain mechanisms. We need to understand the mind, the subconscious and the conscious, and these systems and how it relates to us, on an internal level, to where we can really start to open up and understand exactly what we are, who we are. So on my reading tonight, what I want to do is, tonight I want to go over, we're 14 minutes in. Tonight I want to go over a book here called The Master Key System by Charles F. Haniel, or Haniel. The Master Key System, just one book. Over 100 years ago, this book was gathered and prepared. So it's an older piece, but older is better in a lot of cases, per se. You want to get a lot of that old wisdom, that old knowledge. What were they talking about back then? And you read more than one source. But tonight, I'll present this book here, but then we'll also be introduced to 4 other books that you can also get from the temple tonight for donation. Okay, so let's try to get this thing set up. And again, honors and gratitude to all of those tapped in to our program tonight, our book club reading here at the BBT with me, your host tonight, Noble Dantes Smithell. Let's go ahead and get this show on the roll, why don't we? I hope that if you are not familiar with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and just what we're made of within us and how we go about functioning, I really hope this opens you up to the idea of just, continuing to study and research the researchers and contact us. If you would like to attend any of our classes that we have where Sheikh and our muftis, we go over so many different things that just help benefit. You don't want to look at the information as overwhelming. You want to look at it as, these are things that, for whatever reasons, you didn't have the knowledge then, but you have access to the knowledge now with the BBT, Sheikh Khari, and others. So tap in to the Burning Bush Tabernacle. We're about to change some things. We're going hard. We're doing what we need to do for our people, for the community, and our people know our voice. So if you're there, if you're a light seeker, maybe you'll hear something tonight that motivates you or inspires you. Maybe you understand yourself a little bit more or how to move better in the future, step by step. We are a work in progress. Chapter 1, we'll get into some of this. That much gathers, more is true on every plane of existence. And that loss leads to greater loss is equally true. Mind is creative, and conditions, environment, and all experiences in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the sacredness of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. This is true because we must be before we can do. And we can do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. That's a master key. What we are depends upon what we think. We cannot express powers that we do not possess. The only way by which we may secure possession of power is to become conscious of power. And we can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. Moors, there is a world within, a world of thought and feeling and power, of light and life and beauty. And although invisible, its forces are mighty. The world within us is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. And since the world within us is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. The world without or outside of us is a reflection of the world inside or within us. What appears outside of us is what has been found within us. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, and infinite supply of that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these possibilities in the world within, they would take form in the world outside of us. Again, tonight with the book club reading, we're going over the master key system, introducing you to the conscious and subconscious minds. The Master Key System is what we're going over tonight. We always offer book bundle specials. So one more book that we'll include in our bundle tonight for tonight's offering for donation is The Magic of the Mind: How the Conscious and the Subconscious Minds Work. The Key to Success in Life. Another book that we're going to offer tonight with our book club reading bundle. Information at the bottom if interested. Harmony in the world within us will be reflected in the world outside of us by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything. It is the foundation of health and a necessary essential to all greatness, all power, all attainment, all achievement, and all success. Harmony in the world within us means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience is to affect us. We control how these experiences affect us. Harmony in the world within results in optimism and affluence. Affluence within results in affluence without, or affluence within results in affluence without or outside of us. The world outside reflects the circumstances and the conditions of the consciousness within us. If we find wisdom in the world within us, we shall have the understanding to discern the marvelous possibilities that are latent in this world within us. And we shall be given the power to make these possibilities manifest in the world outside. As we become conscious of the wisdom in the world within us, we mentally take possession of this wisdom. And by taking mental possession, we come into actual possession of the power and wisdom necessary to bring into manifestation the essentials necessary for our most complete and harmonious development. The world within us is the practical world in which the men and women of power generate courage, hope, enthusiasm, confidence, trust, and faith, by which they are given the fine intelligence to see the vision of the practical skill to make the vision real. Life is an unfoldment, not accretion. What comes to us in the world outside is what we already possess within us. All possession is based on consciousness. All gain is the result of an accumulative consciousness. All loss is the result of a scattering consciousness. Mental efficiency is contingent upon harmony. Discord means confusion. Therefore, he who would acquire power must be in harmony with natural law. We are related to the world outside by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind, and the cerebrospinal system of nerves puts us in conscious communication with every part of the body. This system of nerves responds to every sensation of light, heat, odor, sound, and taste. When this mind thinks correctly, when it understands the truth, when the thoughts sent through the cerebrospinal nervous system to the body are constructive, these sensations are pleasant, harmonious. The result is that we build strength, vitality, and all constructive forces into our body. But it is through this same objective mind that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony is admitted to our lives. It is therefore through the objective mind, by wrong thinking, that we are related to all destructive forces. We are related to the world within by the subconscious mind. And I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but the solar plexus is the organ of this mind, of the subconscious mind. The sympathetic system of nerves presides over all subjective sensations, such as joy, fear, love, emotion, respiration, imagination, and all other subconscious phenomena. It is through the subconscious mind that we are connected with the universal mind and brought into relation with the infinite constructive forces of the universe. It is the coordination of these two centers of our being and the understanding of their functions, which is the great secret of life. With this knowledge, we can bring the objective and subjective minds into consciousness, cooperation, and those coordinate the finite and the infinite. Our future is entirely within our own control. It is not at the mercy of a capricious or uncertain external power. Nothing outside of us. All agree that there is one principle or consciousness pervading the entire universe, occupying all space and being essentially the same in kind at every point of its presence. It is all powerful, all wisdom, and always present. All thoughts and things are within itself. It is all in all. Shout out again, peace, 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 peace to all those light seekers tapped into our BBT Friday night book club reading, Holy Day book club reading with me, your host tonight, reading tonight for you all. Great information so far. Noble Dantes Smith-Dale, happy to be here. Each and every Friday, we do book club reading here at the BBT on our Facebook and YouTube. We present books. We're doing book bundles. Tonight, we're going over the Master Key System. You can also get, with your donation tonight, The Magic of the Mind, how the conscious and the subconscious minds work. A third book that we'll toss into this bundle tonight, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, How to Unlock Your Full Potential for Success and Achievement by Brian Tracy. So again, we're offering 5 books tonight to go along with the book that we're covering tonight. I really hope that, some of what we're reading so far, if it is new to you, then great. This type of knowledge about yourself is very beneficial to who you become. So continue to tune in. We have a little bit left, but without further ado, we'll continue with our reading. Some good stuff here. If you're being introduced to the subconscious mind today through this reading, I do hope that you will consider donating to the temple tonight. Information will be on our screen. I will go over information at the end of the video. If you are being introduced to the subconscious and consciousness for the first time tonight, I do hope that it's on your heart to give to the BBT. What we're doing is we want to push the information, push the knowledge, and then we want to also have the wisdom and apply it to our lives and show ourselves approved in our actions and our lives. But back to it here, there is but one consciousness. There is but one consciousness in the universe, able to think. And when it thinks, its thoughts become objective things to it. As this consciousness is omnipresent, it must be present within every individual. Each individual must be a manifestation of that omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent consciousness. As there is only one consciousness in the universe that is able to think, it necessarily follows that your consciousness is identical with the universal consciousness, or in other words, all mind is one mind. There is no dodging this conclusion. The consciousness that focuses in your brain cells is the same consciousness which focuses in the brain cells of every other individual. Each individual is but the individualization of the universe or the cosmic mind. The universal mind is static or potential energy. It is simply is. It can manifest only through the individual, and the individual can manifest only through the universal. They are one. And in more science, you may hear man and God are one. It's the same thing. They are one. The ability of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal and bring it into manifestation. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. Mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy from which arises the activities called thought, which is the dynamic phase of mind. Mind is static energy. Thought is dynamic energy, the two phases of the same thing. Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. As the sum of all attributes are contained in the universal mind, which is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, these attributes must be present at all times in their potential form in every individual. Therefore, when the individual thinks, the body is compelled by its nature to embody itself in an objectivity or condition which all correspond with its origin. Every thought, therefore, is a cause, and every condition is an effect. For this reason, it is absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. I don't know about you, but I really hope that, if you are new to subconscious and conscious mind, that, what you're hearing here is just, opening you up, expanding you to other things, maybe different from what you grew up knowing, or traditions that were in your home or your community. Maybe you never thought about who you were internally, or how you were here, or how you become, or the systems within us, the mechanism within us, the tools within us that help us become. Tonight's book club reading, we're reading the Master Key System. We're also offering other books with this book today, with your generous donation, The Magic of Mind. Also, or The Magic of the Mind. Also, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. How to Unlock Your Full Potential for Success and Achievement. A fourth book that we'll add on, Smashing Power of the Mind. Fourth book that will further your studies on yourself. You can get right here at the BBT. We're nearing the end of the reading, so we'll hop right back in and we'll finish it up. But I really do hope that, like myself, as I continue to study self, continue the repetition of learning things of myself, you do the same, and you reach out to us for this knowledge so that you can study. And you can even ask us questions about studying with us, because we're always open. All power is from within and is absolutely under your control. It comes through exact knowledge and by the voluntary exercises of exact principles. It should be plain that when you acquire a thorough understanding of this law and are able to control your thought processes, you can apply it to any condition. In other words, you will have come into conscious cooperation with omnipotent law, which is the fundamental basis of all things. The universal mind, Allah, is the life principle of every atom, which is in existence. Every atom is continually striving to manifest more life. All are intelligent and are all seeking to carry out the purpose for which they were created. A majority of mankind lives in the world outside of themselves. They live for things outside of themselves. Few have found that world within us. And yet it is the world within us that makes the world outside, what people see, what you become. It is therefore creative, and everything which you find in your world outside has been created by you within your own self. This system and knowledge will bring you into a realization of power, which will be yours when you understand this relation between the world without and the world within. The world within you is the cause, and the world without or outside of you is the effect. To change the effect, you must change the cause. You will at once see that this is a radically new or different idea, but it's not. Most men try to change effects by working with effects. They fail to see that this is simply changing one form of distress for another. To remove discord, we must remove the cause, and this cause can be found only in the world within. All growth is from within. This is evident in all nature. Every plant, every animal, every human is a living testimony to this great law. And the error of the ages is in looking for strength or power from a source outside of yourself. The world within is the universal fountain of supply, and the world without is the outlet to the stream. Our ability to receive depends upon our recognition of this universal fountain, this infinite energy of which each individual is an outlet, and so is one with every other individual. Recognition is a mental process. Mental action is therefore the interaction of the individual upon the universal mind. And as the universal mind, or Allah, is the intelligence which pervades all space and animates all living things, this mental action and reaction is the law of causation. But the principle of causation does not obtain to the individual, but in the universal or cosmic mind. It is not an objective faculty, but a subjective process, and the results are seen in an infinite variety of conditions and experiences. In order to express life, there must be mind. Nothing can exist without mind. Everything which exists is some manifestation of this one basic substance from which and by which all things have been created and are continually being created. We live in a fathomless sea of plastic mind substance. This substance is ever alive and active. It is sensitive to the highest degree. It takes form according to the mental demand. Thought forms the mold or matrix from which the substance expresses. Remember that it is in the application alone that the value consists. The application, it's about the application, the action, the work, and that a practical understanding of this law will substitute abundance for poverty, wisdom for ignorance, harmony for discord, and freedom for tyranny. And certainly, there can be no greater blessing than these from a material and social standpoint. Also have a little exercise for you as we wrap the last verse. Now make this the application. Select a room where you can be alone and undisturbed. Sit erect, comfortably. Don't lounge. Let your thoughts roam where they will, but be perfectly still for about 15 to half an hour. 15 minutes to half an hour. Continue this for 3 or 4 days or for a week until you secure full control of your physical being. Full control of your physical being. Many will find this extremely difficult. Others will conquer with ease. But it is absolutely essential to secure complete control of our bodies before we are able and ready to progress. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Book that we've been going over tonight on tonight's Holy Day BBT Book Club reading has been The Master Key System. We've been offering other books throughout the broadcast that we're doing on with a book bundle deal tonight. If you contact us, The Magic of the Mind also will include Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, Atom Smashing Power of the Mind. Also, that fifth installment will be The Miracles of Your Mind by Joseph Murphy. The Miracles of Your Mind. So again, I hope that the reading tonight, what we covered tonight, if it did introduce you to the subconscious mind, I really hope, I don't pray for confusion, and hope for confusion, but I want you to be thinking about, what you heard tonight and what we read tonight and how that applies to you and the functions in your body. You have a cerebral nervous system, just like every other individual. We have power within us to become. We must will ourselves. We must will ourselves. It's in our control. It's in our control. We must will ourselves. We might fall off. We may fall off. But the difference is we must stand back up. We must do what we need to do, even when we fail. Failure is really not trying and not doing what you need to do when you know you need to do it. Time waits for no man. Now, I really hope that this was helpful for anybody out there who tapped in and listened to the whole broadcast, the whole reading tonight. We have this book and all of the others that we offered throughout the broadcast. Again, thank you and gratitude so much to everyone who tuned in tonight for this last book club reading for the month of April, as we jumpstart our May book club reading series covering consciousness and the subconscious mind. So you'll get a lot more, introduced to a lot more books that you can donate for and keep for your libraries and send to your family and friends, and because everyone needs to know about our systems within and how we become. That's something that everyone needs to know. So if you enjoy the book club reading tonight and what you heard, I would hope you would send a donation to us. If you enjoyed the reading tonight, if you are looking for a charitable religious organization that you can donate to, and with our donations here, everything is tax exempt. Sheik is, going over a lot of that again now, with it being a tax deadline. So, how that works. If you donate to the BBT, something that, everyone should understand, even if you're not doing it, you need to understand this for when you are willing to do it. You donate to the BBT, you purchase anything from the BBT or what we offer on any of our websites, including bondedbooks.com and mypdfbooks.com with a Z. You will be able to get a tax exempt receipt at the end of the year to claim on your taxes, because we are a temple and school, and this is what we do here. We're set up the right way. Information is at the bottom if you would like to donate. But You can donate via Zelle at 602-473-8767. That's 602-473-8767. That is actually the Burning Bush Tabernacle. That's the direct Zelle for that. Also visit bbtsciencetemple.com and subscribe to the BBT Science Temple YouTube page and Facebook. Don't hesitate to hit that notification bell for alerts and updates. That's Burning Bush Tabernacle on YouTube and Facebook. If you are interested in these books or others that we have a plethora of different books on different sciences. You can email burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com. That's burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com. That's Zelle again for all charitable donations to our temple and school. You can do that straight through Zelle at the number 602-473-8767, 602-473-8767. So again, it's been my pleasure reading tonight. I truly hope that you guys were tapped in and really listening and tuned into it, and hopefully you were introduced to something tonight that can really benefit you moving forward in your life and right now in this very moment. So again, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love to all those who tapped in. I'm going to close our session tonight with our holy prayer. I didn't get a chance to open with our map, but I will close with our benediction, and it reads as follows. May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou should strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield of the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft. For behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. And with that, I like to say Islam and gratitude for tapping in tonight. Everybody who tapped in tonight, we truly appreciate it. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with us. So I appreciate you. I love you. You got our information. Everything's at the bottom of the screen. If you want to get involved with the BBT, if you want to donate to the BBT, if you're looking for a charity, an organization, spiritual organization that you can support, in which our purpose and goal is to uplift fallen humanity in our communities. This is the spot. We would truly appreciate your support and donation. Visit our website, donate monthly, become a member, become a student, contact us via email, support. And we try to do the work because the work needs to be done. And with that, peace, light, love, and illumination. Islam.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seed sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.